Okay, guys, so we got you guys with a confusing three-team trade. Trust me, these things get confusing. So I'll actually put it in the description down below as well, in case if you don't want to listen to me talking about it. But here we go. This is a hockey one, so pay attention. Mattias Janmark got dealt to the Vegas Golden Knights which involved the Chicago Blackhawks and the San Jose Sharks. So um, the Chicago Blackhawks received a second round pick for 2021 and a 2022 third round pick. And Vegas got a fifth round pick and defenseman Nick DeSimone from San Jose. And that fifth round pick was via the Buffalo Sabres. So just so I don't confuse you guys, San Jose had that fifth round pick courtesy of the Sabres. So the Sabres aren't involved in this trade. I'm just saying that it's via Buffalo. Um, the Blackhawks scratched Janmark from Saturday's game to Monday's trade deadline, and yeah, Janmark has been more of a depth player his entire career. He's never broken the 40 point mark, I believe. And this was reported by ESPN. So you go first, Mario. What do you think of Mattias Janmark going to the Vegas Golden Knights?
Well, first of all, best of luck to Mattias Janmark on joining the Vegas Golden Knights. Obviously, Vegas Golden Knights, since they've joined the league, they've been contending for a Stanley Cup. But yeah, you look at Janmark's stats, and like he's played depth for like most of his career. I mean, his best season was in 2017 and 2018, where he had 34 points, he had 19 goals and 15 assists. So when you really look at it, Nate, that's basically what he's been, a player on the who has delivered depth to his team. But when they got him in Chicago, he's got a little more playing time. And this year, he's had 19 points, 9 assists, and 10 goals. And obviously, there's still many games to play left in the NHL season. So who knows? Maybe if Vegas gives him a bigger role and a bigger playing time role, he might end up breaking that 40 point mark. But yeah, Janmark could be definitely, even if they decide to put Janmark like as a depth player, he definitely the way he impacts his team is he gives Vegas a lot more depth, depth. In sports, I believe depth is almost as important as the starting lineup itself, because if you don't have depth, you're just working your starting players 40 points a night. So with depth, if you have a good bench, that ends up helping you a lot. We've seen what bench players can do in a lot of leagues. We've seen what um for example, we've seen going to basketball, we've seen what guys like Lou Williams have done for their teams, like Eric Gordon, Lee Sixman, Montrezl Harrell. You see what they've done for their team. You go to like baseball and like relieving pitchers. They're kind of like bench players themselves. But that's just their job, relieving pitchers. And you see what they can do for their team. And you look at hockey, and you look at people, and you look at players that are up in depth. I believe in his last couple of years in Boston, wasn't Zdeno Chara like kind of a depth player? I don't think he started.
No, he did.
I did. All right,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of guys though. Like I'm trying to think of depth players for the Boston Celtics. I know they had a few. They had a few good ones. I don't know if
Um. You
was
know,
Krug one.
I think Krug was one. Yeah.
Krug. Obviously the Bruins had so many players. Like I'm thinking about that year they went to the finals and lost. They had so many players that I couldn't just remember. But depth is definitely very very important for all sports teams. You need to have good depth, and I believe that Mattias can definitely become that guy to give them more depth. If they decide to put him into a bigger role, that's great for Mattias. He can show, or Matthias, he can show what he can do on the ice if he has more playing time. Um, but yeah, basically the whole point is Matthias is going to a team that is willing to contend. He's going to the Vegas Golden Knights, who are always a contender for the Stanley Cup, and I think that's good for him. I think that's good going on a contender team, because a contender team, and if you have an impact on that contender team, it ends up putting more hype around your name. And it gives you more chance and more opportunities in your hockey career to end up doing well. So with that being said, I wish Mattias Janmark the best of luck in Vegas, and I wish everybody the best of luck who was involved in this trade. Now going to the I believe it was Chicago who took the picks.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, another rebuilding team. They're keeping guys like Patrick Kane, but it's another rebuilding team. Jonathan, I'm trying to think, Nate. Jonathan, I think his name is. I'm thinking of the guy who was out this season. Hang on a second. Sorry, it's been a minute. Jonathan Toes. Obviously, Jonathan Toes, he's not playing this year. He had a health issue, so he's not playing this year. But I feel like they're going to keep Jonathan Toews and they're going to keep Patrick Kane. Now, with that being said, obviously they're in a whole. I believe they're going into a rebuild mode as well. That's what I believe. I think when you take as many picks as you can, that shows like, hey, we're going into a rebuild mode and we're going to use all the picks that we can in order to build a future around this team. You know. So I think that's a good idea for Chicago because clearly, like, they haven't been good since that. In my opinion, they haven't been good since that Stanley Cup win that they had. I can't remember when it was. Help me out here, Nate.
It was 2015, and then before that was
2015.
2013, and then before that I think it was I want to
Right,
say
but the last
2010.
right, but the last one was 2015, correct?
Yeah, or some
So
yeah.
yeah, so since then they haven't been the same team. So with that being said, best of luck to them as well. And last but not least, San Jose. I don't know what they got in this trade.
No, they gave up. They gave up.
All right, so they didn't, yeah, so they didn't give up. So they didn't get anything. They just gave up something.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a little weird. But
it is.
they gave up the defenseman, right? Nick
Nick
DeSimone.
DeSimone, yeah.
I think it's a little weird. Maybe they get cash for him or everything like that. But again, best of luck to all three of those trades. Hopefully, they got what they wanted in that trade deal. But we're focusing mainly on Mattias Janmark. So with that being said, best of luck to him. I hope that he can become a major impact to the Vegas Golden Knights. And I'm curious to see how he plays on the ice.
Yeah, I'll pick up for best of luck to Mattias Janmark on the Vegas Golden Knights. He's joining a really really good team,
Right.
and Vegas Golden Knights. We obviously remember them as the first ever sports franchise to make it to the championship in their first year of existence. A lot of people, myself included, when the Golden Knights first were announced, a lot of people thought of it as sus because it's like starting a franchise, and you really think about it, it makes a lot of sense. Starting a franchise in a city like Las Vegas just doesn't. Well, I'll say this: it did make sense, but hear me out. A lot of people, myself included, thought that starting a franchise in Las Vegas is not a good idea. A lot of people thought just move a franchise there, like the
Raiders.
Raiders did. And there's a lot of rumors that the A's might end up moving to Las Vegas if they don't get a stadium too. But that's just a rumor, so don't take my word for it. But a lot of people thought this was going to fail. This was going to backfire on them. But when you really think about it, I I was first a skeptic on it, but then I really looked at it and I'm like, Vegas is a really damn good place to hold a sports franchise. There's everybody bets there. There's hotels literally everywhere on the Las Vegas Strip where their arena is. T-Mobile Arena is right on the strip across the street from the new Allegiant Stadium. Perfect place to have a stadium to in an arena. Hotels everywhere, casinos everywhere, freaking restaurants everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, it's the best case scenario. You're getting a lot of money out of that, especially if you're playing on the Las Vegas Strip. You know what I mean? And ever since then, everybody wanted to go to Vegas, and that's where it ended up happening. Everybody went to Vegas, and this team's been good ever since they've been in the league. They haven't missed the playoffs before in their four, and I think it's their fourth season.
Right.
Yeah, it's their fourth
Right.
season, right?
And not only that, when you look at this team again, when you start an expansion team, it's basically a bunch of rejects. But these
Yeah,
rejects don't play like rejects. Like, first of all, you got Marc-Andre Fleury, who, in my opinion, I think the Penguins messed up. I think they should have kept him.
yeah,
I think he's a very great goalie. Then you got Robin Lehner, great player. Mark Stone, good player. William Karlsson, great player. You have Nick Holden, great player. So I mean, like, all these guys that Riley Smith. So when you look at it, all these guys that basically teams were like, here, take them. We don't need them. Clearly, you could have used them because these guys have been. The Vegas Knights have, I think, been one of the best hockey teams since they got into this league.
right. And personally, I can see him making the finals again this year. Can they win it? Personally, I think they can this time around. I think in 2018 it was a bit different. I think it was the Capitals' time. The Capitals have been a failing franchise for many many years before that. So I think the Washington Capitals time just came for them. But I think this year they can definitely win the Stanley Cup this year. I can definitely see it. But so Mattias Janmark is joining a very very good squad. He's joining a Stanley Cup contender right there. I'm not even kidding. That is a contender right there. But with that being said, obviously the one team that's in their way is the Colorado Avalanche. But personally, even though the Golden Knights are second in their division to the Avalanche, I think they're a better team. I personally think they could make the finals over the Avalanche. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Avalanche made it over them. But now the question is, how well is he going to prove himself in Vegas? Is he going to be an asset or is he going to be a flop? You know what I mean? That's the question asked, and I'm sure he's going to do relatively well. Golden Knights are good with their players. Like I said, they haven't missed the playoffs ever since they've come into the league. They're a very, very successful franchise as far as we're concerned so far. So, with that being said, best of Mattias Janmark in Vegas. You're joining a really good squad, so make the best of it while you still can. And best of luck to all the other teams involved in this trade, especially the Golden Knights and not the Golden Knights, the Blackhawks and the Sharks. So best of luck to them as well.